Caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The Caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the Caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the Caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the Caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the Caltrop.
Good evening and welcome to the Caltrop. I'm your host, Michael Calderese, and welcome to this fantastic Friday night, man. It is, I guess, the start to the weekend, and you've been bombarded with, bombs over Iran. I guess, is that the new song, Bombs Over Iran? Bombs over Israel, bombs over Lebanon, bombs over everywhere this week. And, it's just with gas prices going up, with everything going on, it's the last thing I want to talk about. It's the God's honest truth. But who knows where it's going to go, because I'm not going to go with a big monologue today. Tonight, I have somewhat of a different format. So I have a new feature tonight that I'm dying to test out. It's going to be very interesting. I'll tell you that in 1 second. But first, we have AJ Johnson with us. He is from Bleacher Brothers. He's going to be joining us in just a second. And we also have Christo Makropoulos. I think that's how we say his last name, Makropoulos. He is the Jersey Watcher. He's going to be coming on later. We're going to be talking about a variety of different things. I'm going to leave it up to the guests. Like, I want to learn about these guys, learn about their stories, because one's a sports story, one's a little bit of a similar story that I'm doing as far as going after the township. And then, guys, we have, and I guess this is popular demand. I went out and my wonderful wife actually did this for us today. We added a line on to our plan, to our Verizon plan. And I got a show phone number. So at the end of any of these shows, every single night, I'm going to have like a call-in session, 15 minutes. I'm going to keep it to try to keep it short with some of the guys. Maybe if you're good, you'll go longer. But we do have a show phone number. I'm going to unveil it about 8:45 tonight. So if you want to hang out with us tonight and you want to call in, not show your face. And what I want you to do is, if you don't even want to give your real name, don't make up a name. Make it be fun. If you're gonna use a fake name, make it fun. Use a really good name. Be like a show name. If you want to be like some Howard Stern type guests where you just make a fool of yourself. I mean, I encourage you to do that as well. But I'll be putting that out about 8:45. But let's waste no more time and get to our main guest. Everybody, let's welcome to the Caltrop, AJ from Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. This isn't a podcast, everybody. He's not just a podcast. He does shows. They have numerous amounts of shows, but you guys are a sports network. Dude, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
So am I the first member of the Caltrop Whack Pack?
Is that what it is? Are we the Whack Pack? Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. If you're going to have Eric the Midget and Gary the Retard and all these pitch Eric and all those people call in, I must be the first member.
Dude, that's got to be awesome. Like, you should. That's how I want everybody to call in. I want you to use your first name or make up a first name and then give yourself a nickname after it. I think that would be fucking great. Don't you? Get some repeat callers.
That would be killer. We have a little whack pack around our show, and it's fun. It's fun, and people get attached to the characters. We hired a really high-end producer about a year and a half ago, and this guy brought us some really high-end guests, but he was stuck in 1994 sports radio mentality. And I was trying to explain to him that, yes, it's really good. And we enjoyed interviewing Bucky Dent because we grew up fans of Bucky Dent. But today, nobody really gives a shit about Bucky Dent. But they like characters. And we kept developing these characters like Uncle Rico and Stephen Luker and all. And I just got back from Ireland and people were coming up to me saying, Uncle Rico is epic. I'm like, whoa, people I don't know, just people on the street. So they love the characters. So
they definitely love the characters. You had that one guy who does he does a lot of monologue. I don't remember his name, but I heard him talking. But he has like a parakeet that he puts the mic on, and he has a voiceover for like the parakeet. And he made that thing a character, and people love it. It's amazing, bro. But dude, tell us a little bit about yourself, man, because I know your story, but maybe some of the people watching don't know your story. So how the hell did you start? Because you have, you have a pretty big following, man. When you look across all your platforms, you get thousands of people watching you, especially with your soccer program. But where did this all start, dude? Because I've been hearing about the Bleacher Brothers for years, bro.
We started in 2008. And it was by accident. It was the final year Yankee Stadium. So my brother, I'm living here, but I grew up where you grew up in Brick. I grew up, but I moved down to Florida. My brother's still up in Brick, and he says, "Hey, let's get season tickets to the Yankees for the final season stadium." I said, "Sure." My wife liked going up to Manhattan, so I figured, yeah, we'll go to a bunch of games. I went to one game. My brother went to one game, but we sold the rest of the tickets and made a friggin' fortune. So at that point, we said, you know what? We're going to take down StubHub. And this was right in the beginning of Facebook, and social media was really just starting to happen. So we had this idea that we build like a sports network for people, social network, submit your videos from anywhere, submit your clips. What game are you at? Sell tickets, yada, yada, yada. Great idea. But we didn't know what we didn't know. Meaning we had to go out and hire all sorts of developers and IT guys, and they just raked us through the coals. And then what happened in 2009, everything in the world crashed and nobody had any money anymore. So we were stuck with, if you wanted to go see Disney on Ice, I had it. You wanted AC/DC, I had it. You wanted Dallas Cowboys new stadium, we had it, but it dried up when people ran out of money. And then we kept investing into building this thing, and we just ran out of money. So it was sort of like over, and it was a really bad taste in everybody's mouth after that. And I lost a ton, and my brother lost a ton of money. And then fast forward to about four years ago, I used to listen to this guy named Tony Bruno on Fox Sports Radio. He was like the Howard Stern of sports radio. He launched ESPN's radio, Fox Sports Radio. You remember that show, The Best Damn Sports Show, period?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tony was on that all the time. So I'm on Twitter, and I see Tony Bruno on my Twitter feed, and he posted he was in a hospital. So I sent the message. I said, hey, I hope you're okay. Never expecting Tony Bruno to get back to me. He got back to me. I was up in Jersey for a funeral, and he was broadcasting out of Jersey, doing podcasts because he's been canceled. He had a bad rap. He got canceled. But I went. He invited me. He says, come down to the house while you're in Jersey. You can sit in on the podcast. They did it. They interviewed me. We have a fascinating story about my wife and all kinds of stuff she went through. And afterwards, he says, you should do this. I said, what? He goes, you should do a podcast. You'll have fun with it. So I said, all right. So I brought the name Bleacher Brothers back up, and I'm like, all right, so how do I kick this thing off? So I reached out on Twitter to Lenny Dykstra. Again, never expecting a reply, but I said, hey, Lenny, I'm doing a podcast. Would you like to come on? And he replied back, and he says, call me. Here's my phone number, which blew me away. And he goes, call me tomorrow at 3:00 sharp. So I called him the next day. I was sitting in the Best Buy parking lot, and I said, I got to call Lenny. I call Lenny. Who's this? I said, it's AJ. Who the hell is AJ? I said, the guy on Twitter that you told to call at 3:00. Oh, yeah. He goes, I get a lot of poo-tang, right? This is how the conversation started. And I'm like, I said, Lenny, we're trying to do like a PG sort of show, a lot of kids.
Or did he say?
No, he said something else, but
Pussy Willows. Like,
I'm just trying to clean it up for the show here for you.
Hey, but you could say, Pussy Willow is a flower.
Yeah, it is. It is a flower, and Lenny loves flowers. All right. So we brought him on, and it was a total train wreck, but it was so friggin' entertaining that we had him back again and again and again. People loved it. And he was like our big guest for a long time. It was Lenny Dykstra. He was our guy. One time we did a whole show with him. At the end of the show, we were still on the air, but he gets up and behind him is a sliding glass door. So you see his reflection. He had no pants on. So he did the whole show with no pants on. Everybody saw it. Sometimes he would forget to put his teeth in, the stories. I got to know Lenny really well. And I think we're going to have him on with Darryl Strawberry the week after next week. And they're two polar opposites because Strawberry was a lot of trouble in his younger days, but now he's kind of got his act together and he's a preacher and he does a lot of good. And Lenny is still a wreck. I mean, the last time Lenny made the news was on New Year's. The Artemis 2 crew just splashed down. If anybody gives a shit, it's on my TV here in front of me. But
we can talk about that in a little bit too, if you have any thoughts on that. But no, go fire away.
So the last time I heard from Lenny, he was calling me on New Year's Day at like 3-4 in the morning, and he called repeatedly over and over and over and over again. And I slept through it. And then it was all over the news that he got pulled over and found with a crack pipe and all sorts of stuff. And I haven't had any contact with him since, but I'm gonna reach out to him, and I know that he'll come on. And he's tight with Straw, but I got another connection to Straw to get on. So that's how it started. And I just my problem, Mike, is that I can't do anything for fun. I always have to monetize it in my head somehow and make it much bigger than just me. So I hooked up with a bunch of people, and we've got guys that do baseball shows. These guys, Top Fan Rivalry, Reconnected. They're awesome baseball, everything baseball. They're into it. Joe Quills does Also Eligible. He's our horse racing guy. This guy's dynamite. If you want winners with horse racing, he does a show every Saturday morning. He just puts out winner after winner after winner. We got soccer shows that follow MLS and Inter Miami and the Red Bulls and then European soccer. And then I got involved in an Irish soccer club, just to say like, oh, wow, I own an Irish soccer club. Didn't really expect anything out of it. It wasn't a ton of money that I invested. I'm kind of like, we're like David Hasselhoff in Ireland now. People stay up until midnight. They stay up to watch this podcast live at midnight over there. And when we came back from Ireland and we did the first live show, it had over 23,000 live on X alone. I was like, wow. So that's where we are. There's growing pains. There's
that's from your like your ownership, right? Don't you own a soccer team over there or something like that?
I invested. I'm an investor. There's lots of investors. It wasn't a ton of money, but I invested a little bit of money just so that I could say, hey, look at me. I own a soccer team. You don't, and I do. Never dreamt that it would take me to Ireland and turn into a show and all this sort of stuff. And it's really right now it's our biggest show. I mean, it gets 10,000 live on a regular basis. Sometimes it spikes a little bit higher. With the Bleacher Brothers show, which I used to host, and we used to be on radio too. We were huge on digital. It was digital radio. So basically you download the app and you can listen anywhere in the world. We were huge in Kuwait because you could literally pull up the analytics in real time and it would show you where people were listening from. So we're just assuming that it was military. Because there's a lot of military bases in Kuwait. I can't see people riding around on their camels with their cell phones listening to us.
Dodging Israeli bombs and shit. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So
it's
been fun. It's been fun. It's been challenging, man. I mean, this ain't easy. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I got to tell you, I think about quitting 30 times a day, every day. But the difference between, I think, guys like us, we don't quit. No. You know what's interesting about this? The only thing I'm thinking about quitting is my masonry job. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to fucking quit. I definitely want to figure out how to make money doing this. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. But no, dude, I love doing this shit. But you're right. It takes a lot of work, man. You definitely have to. There's days where I say I don't want to do the show tonight, and then you push yourself to do it because. But that's the difference. That's why you've grown as much as you have, because you haven't stopped, and you've interviewed some really big people over the years, right? Yeah. We had one of my favorite guests. I mean, we've interviewed a lot of big people. Dan Dakich?
Dan Dakich,
Outkick. He played with Michael Jordan at North Carolina, but he's a huge host on. He's the late morning host on Outkick. Really good. He was a dynamite guest, and we had no idea who he was before he came on. And the producer that we had hired said, "Oh, Dan Dakich, you're gonna love him." And I never heard of him. And I'm like, I told my co-host, I said, do a little research on this guy. So the co-host did some research. Dakich comes on, shot out of a cannon, like he was born to do this, the greatest guest ever. And my co-host said, I know that you played Jordan and you held him to like 4 points. And Dakich, I held him to 0 points. I don't give a damn what Google says. And from there, and then we figured out who Dakich was. And I was like, holy, this is a big deal because Dakich is on Fox News and he's all over the place all the time. But my favorite guest, Carrot Top.
Oh, yeah?
Carrot, legit. We interviewed him at the Super Bowl. We did Radio Row at the Super Bowl in Phoenix. And the next year was going to be Vegas. So they brought Carrot Top in to start to promote the Vegas because he does a show in Vegas. And he was fantastic when we had him. Called him back the second year when we went to Vegas. He says, absolutely, I'll come back on with you guys. And he's an FAU alumni, which is our close Division I school here. So the Division I hockey team won the state championship last year. So again, I reached out to Carrot Top through his people, because I don't have his direct number. I got a lot of really cool direct numbers, but I don't have his. So I reached out to his people and said, hey, they won the championship. He's an alum. Would he come on the show? In a heartbeat, he came on. Funny, hysterical, just a really, really, I'm not going to lie. He's weird as hell when you look at him and you see him, but I can't figure out which way the wind blows with him or anything, but he's just a great dude. And I love him, and I know that at any point, if I need Carrot Top, I could reach out. So he's a great guy. We've had oh man, a lot of boxing people, Jim Lampley, Randy Commissioner Gordon, baseball, a lot of Yankees, ex-Yankees, ex-Red Sox, Bucky Dent, Scott Brocious. Oh man,
who would you say is your like top 3 of all time, like best and worst?
So Carrot Top's always good. He delivers. We had this kid, I think his name, I'm gonna screw it up, Anthony Edwards, I think, but he was in Hamilton. He was also in Transformers, and we did him on Radio Row at the Super Bowl. Really crazy cool guy. Randy Commissioner Gordon, who's a big deal in boxing, he was a great guest. We had Joe Blanton on, ex-pitcher for numerous teams, who was fantastic. But Craig Elo, ex-NBA player. There's a famous shot by Jordan called The Shot. And it's a picture that we've all seen, and it's Jordan up taking this final shot. And there's a guy in the Cleveland Cavaliers basically like falling down behind him. That was Craig Elo. Guy, absolutely fantastic. Came back.
Is that the one where he drove and then pulled up and drilled it? Like when he kind of had his hand on the guy's hip and the guy went flying, or is it?
Yeah. But Jordan's done that many times. But yes, this is that famous one. Yeah, Craig Elo is his nickname. We call him Eggs. I forget why his nickname is Eggs, but lights out, fantastic dude. At any point, I can get him on the phone, just find out, hey, who do you like in tonight's game? Anytime we want to bring him on a show, he's dynamite. So I'm gonna do a show with him in a week or two before the NBA playoffs start. Bad guests, and we were really excited to get this guy, John Van Beesbrook. Used to be the goalie for the Rangers.
Yep.
It's not that he was a bad guest, but he's got no personality at all. And so I did my research. We always do our research when we
I'm just
like I asked him, I said, look, because he came from the Rangers to the Florida Panthers when they were an expansion team. And the second season, they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. And the thing down here is when they score a goal, people throw rats onto the ice, rubber rats. And I just like, where did this come from? So I looked it up and I found out Van Beesbrook was behind where this started. So I asked him, I said, John, can you tell everybody what's the thing with the rats? And he goes, well, you already know the answer. Like, yeah, nobody wants to hear me tell the story. So he was probably the guest that where we wouldn't bring back. It wasn't like that he was an a-hole or anything like that. He just
certain guys you can't have a conversation with. It's kind of like pulling teeth, man. you're searching like, how am I going to even ask this guy a question that's going to get anything out of him, right? It's like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was really hard. But there were other guys. We meet all these. The issue that we had when we got this producer, he delivered. I mean, we got him. We did Radio Row at the Super Bowl for 2 years, but that's expensive and it's a lot of work. Everybody thinks, oh, that's got to be so cool. No, we work all day long. And then we get on a plane and come home before the Super Bowl even happens. So I said, you know what, Chris, you're the producer. You're the big shot. Bring Radio Row to us. We're going to stay here. You load us up. So we had Mike Martz. We had Jesse Spagnola or Jesse. Oh man, it's not Spagnola. Jesse Sapola. He won 4 Super Bowls with the Niners. He's the only guy to win all 4 with the Montana and Steve Young sort of, crossover.
Okay.
He was fantastic. Man, it was good. But what we were running into is we're getting a lot of old time guys. People from, I'm probably a little bit older than you. I'm in my mid 50s. So I can remember Bucky Dent hitting a home run over the Green Monster in 78 and, people like that. And Lenny is just the train wreck. So everybody loves Lenny. But where we really started to take off was at the Kentucky Derby last year. We had a trainer on for this horse named Sandman. Sandman was one of the favorites to win the Derby. So we talked to the trainer. He was a nice guy. He was laid back, real cool to all of our questions. Everybody's been really friendly, but he kind of told us, he goes, the reason this horse has so much buzz is it's named Sandman after Metallica. Metallica was just here this week with the horse, but one of the owners is an influencer. So immediately after the show, we said, who's this influencer? We had to look him up. We brought him. It's like a 25-year-old kid. He's got 50 million followers. And he's been hired by almost all of horse racing, the New York Racing Association, all different sort of associations in racing to try to bring young people to racing. And he's been doing it. He's a great dude, Griffin Johnson. So we're going to try to bring him back on before the Derby. And I got a long Rolodex, man. If we went through this Rolodex and I call it the VIP phone. I leave it here and it's locked down because people will steal it and they'll want to get all these different numbers out of it. But it's tiring, man. It's a lot of work, but it's been fun. I'm looking just through here real fast, names that anybody might just, Joe Blanton. Chase Brooks. This guy's great. He's he's not MMA. It's Muay Thai. You know what Muay Thai is? Muay Thai fighting. So he's a 10-time amateur champ. He just turned pro. He's 2-0 in the pros. This dude is, man, with his elbows, he's sick, bro. I would not want to. I actually thought about it. I said, look, what if you fought me and we videotaped it? Just, exhibition, go easy on me. And no, I thought after I saw him fight his last fight, it was crazy. Scott Barocious, D. Brown, who did the blind slam dunk.
Nice.
Jose Canseco. Did you ever see the episode with Jose Canseco? Anybody that hasn't seen that, you got to go back and watch it. Jose Canseco beforehand tells me nothing is off limits. You can ask me anything. I'll answer any question. So we came in easy, came in nice. We talked about the A's moving out of Oakland and this, and everything was going good. And then I did this Hall of Fame. Yes or no? Roger Clemens, should it be in the Hall of Fame? Canseco says, yes. Barry Bonds, yes. So I said, Andy Pettit, should he be in the Hall of Fame? And I'm going to tell you, this is what I said to Canseco. I said, I liked Andy Pettit, and I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. But the only problem I have with Andy is that when he got busted for steroids, he ratted out Roger. And Canseco did a complete 180, flipped the F out. I mean, flipped out on the show. And it got to the point where I had to throw him off the show. And it went down. I think that thing got like 80,000 views.
So wait, what was he flipping out over?
Oh, he said, he answered the question. I don't remember what the answer. He answered it politely, but then he said, the problem with you is that you have a jailhouse New York mentality. You're a douchebag. You think you know everything. Define the word rat. I said, what do you mean define the word? I said, where I come from. And he goes, oh yeah, where you come from, big tough New Yorker, right? And he just would not stop. And he was instigating. And I kept it cool. It's professional. Said, all right, you know what? Thanks for joining us. And thanks, Jose Canseco, for coming on. So that night after the show, he starts texting me, goes, "This is going to be the biggest rated show you ever had." I was like, all right, whatever. And I woke up the next morning and it was. So he's texting me, he goes, "You're going to put me on. I'm going to do a show on your network. I'm going to take you to another level." But he was such a diva and he's so full of himself. I just couldn't deal with it. But he had it all planned out. Everybody asked me, they said, "Was that scripted?" Like when I go up to the bike tour that we do every summer with Sean Scott, the dinosaur bike tour, people come up to me. They're like, "Oh, AJ, I love the show." And I'm like, yeah, sure. But what do you like about it? And they're like, "Well, when you interviewed Canseco," then I know they're watching it and not just blowing smoke up my ass. And they're like, "The way you cut him off and hung up on him and threw him off the show, that was epic. Who would ever do that?" And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. But Canseco pre-planned that. He just didn't let us in on it. So he wanted to do a rematch a few months later, meaning bring us back on, get in another fight, and then spin him off into his own show. And to me, it just seemed like it was going to be way too much of a headache when my headaches were already all the way up to here.
But it's smart. He knows he's trying to make himself relevant, and he knows if he starts yelling at people, they expect that shit out of him. So
we put a short version of it out, like the best of whatever that year was, 2000, whatever. Where are we now? So the best of 25, and there's a short. It's like a 10-minute segment with Canseco. It's worth a watch. It's entertaining.
I got to tell you something. I can't watch baseball anymore.
I have trouble with it too.
It gets me to the point where it's like, it's not baseball. Like let me show you a couple things. But being that you brought up Canseco, and we'll stick on baseball. I had these kind of preloaded for you.
All right.
I don't understand a number of different things. Okay, so let's start with interference. Okay, blocking the base. I have never heard such of a ridiculous thing ever in my life. Let me play this, and I want your analysis on it. I want your thoughts, because I feel like the game of baseball is no longer the game of baseball. There's no finesse to it. It's nothing but home run and making it as easy as these for these infielders and these position players and these runners. There's no physicality. There's no blocking. There's no art form to it left. And it's this type of shit. I have two videos for you. This is blocking the bag. Tell me what the fuck this guy did wrong.
Runner takes off, throw to second, tag. Is he saying he blocked the base?
Nico said, "I'm trying to catch the ball." So let's first see whether he's out or safe on the play initial.
Out. Didn't you get him on the elbow there?
Looked like he might brush the arm on the way by, but Alan Porter immediately signaled that Nico had impeded his ability to get to the base.
But A, he didn't block the base. B, when I was a kid playing in Cherry Quay Road in Brick Little League there, you were taught if you were a shortstop or a second baseman, you go down on one knee and block the base.
Block the damn base.
Yes, they totally screwed up baseball when they started changing all these, when they put pitch clocks in, and you can only change the relief pitch. The relief pitcher had to stay in for 3 batters. The sport wasn't broken. Why do you have to speed it up with a clock? I liked watching a Yankee game at 7:30 and being on until 11:30 at night. I had no problem with that.
They think it's going to bring in a different audience, and I just don't. I see it. I see the game being more and more disgusting, where you're getting these umpires more involved in their own bullshit judgment calls. And one of the things that bothered me just from playing the game for as long as I have, I never liked the umpires that want to inject themselves into the game. Mm-hmm. And you cannot give these guys reasons to start injecting themselves into the game, because plays like that win games. Right now, that's not an out anymore. Now that's a guy on second. That means one base hit away from a fucking run. One run wins baseball games. You let that umpire potentially, and I don't like. Listen, I don't know the score of that game, but I know baseball. If you allow umpires to inject themselves like that, they're going to. And then, to me, it loses all integrity, because then people are going to start thinking the games are fixed. Like, I think football games are fixed. They seem like it, don't they?
All sports are fixed. Now that sports gambling is so mainstream, you can't watch any sporting event without getting 16 commercials for DraftKings and FanDuel and Bet365. And here's how they F baseball up so bad. Baseball at one time was the top sport in the United States. That's why they call it the American pastime. MLS soccer just passed baseball as the third most popular sport in the United States. And if you take Messi and take him out of MLS, nobody gives a damn about MLS. It's all Messi. But it just passed baseball because everybody's checking out on baseball. And it's sad because I lived for baseball. Last year, I might have watched one game. Years ago, I didn't miss a game. I would watch every single freaking game as a kid, as a Yankee fan. And then I kind of converted over to the Phillies because I got tired of winning so much as a Yankee fan. I started rooting for the Phillies. But yeah, I find baseball, it's hard to watch now, man. I don't like what they did to the game. It wasn't broken. They didn't need to fix it.
Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. So
Yeah.
you got, like, here's a problem. Number one, I can't find Yankee games anymore. It used to be I put on yes and the game was on. Now I don't know where the fuck to go. I don't know where to go for half of the football games anymore either. It's like I got to go to this streaming service or that streaming service. This one carries this game. That one carries that game. I don't know what they're trying to do, but the game of baseball doesn't make sense to me. When you start losing people like me, dude, I'm a lifer who played the game, played wood bat, hardball baseball against 25-year-old kids till I was 43 years old and my hamstring like blew out, right? So you're talking about a guy that loves the fucking game of baseball. And when you get someone like me that cannot watch a game, like nothing bothers me more than watching the Yankees get 3-man on base, bases loaded, nobody out, and not score a fucking run. Because you have people like Volpe dropping his bat and swinging like Judge and trying to hit fucking bombs every swing. No matter whether it's 2 strikes, nobody shortens up anymore. It's such a disgusting game where it's like an all or nothing game. And when they change rules like this, bro, this is runners interference now. You ready? Look at this ridiculous fucking display of horrific baseball.
Right side, and Cronenworth will go to second for one on to first. Oh, Bogarts was contact made there towards second base. We'll see here if the Padres are going to challenge that situation.
This is the crew chief reviewing this 5 violation.
Okay.
So believe it or not, that was always a rule. You can go back to, I want to say 77 or 78 in a World Series game. Reggie threw his hip out to block a ball so that the first baseman couldn't catch it and it wouldn't be a double play. It was always a thing. I remember A-Rod had something with that too, with interference. But it was rare that it would happen. But
you had to slide like way out of the baseline. But here, my point about this is that is completely induced by the shortstop. Growing up, you were never taught to catch the ball and go into the runner. You were always taught to get out of the runner's way because they were coming in, they were sliding hard. Okay, they had to go into the bag really hard. They couldn't go outside. So you saw like beautiful footwork and beautiful displays of getting around a bag from the second baseman to the shortstop where they're catching, getting to the side of it, setting and throwing, and they're not trying to run into the baseline and jump over the fucking runner. That is the worst display of disgusting baseball to me. That the runner should have automatically been safe for that disgusting move that the shortstop pulled. You don't think so, dude? Like, to me, that is horrible baseball. And these guys have no skill, and there's no grace to it anymore.
I'm trying to get back into baseball this year, but I've been checked out for a while. But I get what you're saying with not being able to find it. And what's worse than baseball is soccer, because I've been really following MLS. You never have any idea where to find these soccer games. Apple's supposed to have them all, but sometimes they don't. And it's like, where the hell is this game? And then, do I even have this channel? Is it on Fox 1, Fox 2? Is it over here? Where the hell is it? And it just gets so exhausting sometimes that I just give up and I go watch reruns of Seinfeld.
Oh yeah, dude. And we just got rid of our Fios TV because it's not like we fucking need it anymore. So we don't watch any of it. I can't There's no Yankee games on Yes this year. I haven't been able to see it. I have no idea how to watch a Yankee game anymore. So I don't even give a shit. There's nothing on that television that I actually want to see. So, but I got one more for you. What do you think about where is this? All right. What do you think about the ABS system?
Very good, and of course the home run in this inning, but otherwise he's been stellar. And another challenge, fourth of the game for me.
Call the ball. The catcher's challenging.
I thought this caught a lot of the plate.
It did. Wow, that's almost down the middle.
Return.
So what do you think, dude? Is it time to just go to robot umps or what?
Yeah, it just about is. I mean, there's a lot of, Jeter's famous flip to Jorge Posada, and I don't know what year that was, 2001 against the A's, and they got the guy out at the plate. That it's
safe
famous play. He was safe. If they would have had instant replay, that play wouldn't have been historical the way it is now. I'm not necessarily against it. I'm against just about every single way that they've ruined baseball, but I don't know. I mean, that ball, the umpire called it a ball and it was clearly a strike. So it depends. If you're the Batters fan, then you're pissed off that he didn't get away with one.
I think anybody watching baseball wants the calls right. I think anybody watching sports wants the calls right, especially in this day and age where we have all this technology. I don't know why the guy's not back there and just getting like a beep when it's a strike and nothing when it's a ball, and that way you can call balls and strikes.
Yeah, or they should put a camera or two lights out in center field, a green light and a red light, and all he's got to do is look. Okay, yep, strike or ball.
I mean, because these guys clearly, and you look at it, there's certain guys that could do it, but it seems like these older umpires that they have in the game, I don't think they could see these pitches as well as they think they did. Because if you look at that glove, like the catcher's glove, he caught it and it went that way. So he caught it and it went like that, And it's almost like the way the catchers are catching it are completely deceiving them. And I think you obviously see that it deceives the shit out of the umpires just by how they're learned how to come up to, from low to high now and try to make everything seem like it caught the bottom part of the zone. But they deceive it. And I was the biggest. I wanted the human element in the game until the human element got so horrifically bad that I wanted a robot umpire for my men's leagues games where it was like you put a home plate over home plate and there was a hologram that showed and it just showed you what was a strike and a ball, because that's how bad it got up there, So I'm fully for robot umps. I don't care. I want these guys gone behind the plate.
Yeah, I think that they should be able to instant replay anything, though, because there's things that are allowed and things that aren't. So if you're going to bring it in, you bring it totally in. That's my thought.
Yeah, I think that's all the videos I had for you, though. We shot our low with those guys there, buddy.
That's all right. Baseball's not even the third most popular sport in America anymore. So we're probably the only people talking baseball tonight. Except for the people who can't find where the Yankees are playing and they're cursing at their TVs right now.
And that's everybody, because I really have no idea where they play. I could catch the replays, at 11 o'clock at night on Yes, but I have no idea where they're playing. It's so disgusting. But I don't know, man. I watch the Yankees. It's almost like watching the Yankees. You can predict. It's like, okay, they're 94 wins. They're out in the second round of the playoffs, or you just know the team's not built for the postseason. I don't give a shit, what they do during the regular season. Judge, to me, is one of the most overrated baseball players that has ever been put on the face of the earth. He's, yes, the most impressive regular season baseball player I've ever seen in my life, but postseason, he is absolutely horrific. And I don't even give a shit. Everyone's like, oh, he hit last postseason. Hitting singles is not what this fucking guy's supposed to do. Okay. He is the last person you want up when it matters. When the game's on the line, or it's the seventh inning and you're down by 2 and there's 2 men on, 2 outs, second and third, Judge is up, everybody in the world, including the pitcher that's throwing against him, knows he's striking out. And it's You ever see that teacher man guy with this fucking wacko swing? First off, Judge doesn't do that shit anymore. All right. But that's the reason why these guys strike out, because they want to get their barrel on plane early with some weird ass flick move instead of just starting to bat in the right position. But nobody can hit a ball up and in at all anymore.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of players like that, though. I mean, A-Rod was like that. A-Rod was horrible in the postseason until he wasn't in 2009. I think Yankee fans, we got spoiled by Jeter. What's that?
He was horrible for the Yankees. He wasn't bad for Seattle when they made it.
Well, all that counts is when you play for the Yankees. It doesn't really count.
Yeah, true. But you're telling me Yankee fans killed A-Rod because he couldn't produce in the postseason for the first couple. And Yankee fans consistently give Aaron Judge a pass. And now this is like 8 years of him sucking in the postseason.
Well, the Yankees don't make any moves. They ran back the exact same team last year. They got bounced out. Would they go out in the first round last year?
Yep.
I mean, they ran back the same exact team. They did nothing to improve. They're hoping that Garrett Cole comes back and he's as good as ever, and Rodon is about to come back, I think. But I don't know. They didn't make any moves. But at least they're not the Mets, because the Mets spend more money than the Yankees, and the Mets are so. Here's a funny story. So Steve Cohen, who owns the Mets right now, and his whole thing when he bought the team was he's a lifelong Met fan.
Hold on 1 second. Jersey Abe, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yo, I was the first to call in.
Well, I was not releasing the phone number, buddy, until you called in.
Yes. All I want to know is, where is Georgie at? That's all I know, bro.
I don't know.
Where's Georgie?
I don't know. Hey, listen, nobody wants to come on and talk to us, but what are you going to do, bro? Everyone's afraid. Everyone's afraid there, Jersey Abe.
Hey.
Do you have any questions?
They need to quit being afraid with all their muscles and punches and stuff.
You're not kidding. Do you want to ask AJ any questions? Do you want to chime in on the Yankees? Do you want to bash the Yankees? Or how do you think the Yankees are going to play this year? What do you think?
You know what? I'm sitting here listening to the talk, and I agree with them in the postseason. I agree with the moves. So no real questions, but I'm sitting here watching the game right now. We get 2 runs in the first, and then Judge strikes out twice. So, we got the best record in the league, but we can't hit for shit. So, it's the same old story. So we need to make a lot of moves. Like,
same old story.
So, but no, man, it's tough being a Yankees fan.
It is definitely tough being a Yankees fan, bro. But
Jeter
hey,
ruined it.
Get you being the first caller.
Oh, definitely, bro. I want to make sure you're okay, and I want to make sure Georgie calls in. So if I can get those 2 things done, that's all I care about tonight.
I have a feeling he's not calling in, buddy.
I don't think he's calling in either, but you know what? He's giving us comedy, and whoever's out there making those video themes, man, they're a bad man. So
awesome, bro. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate you.
Love you, bro.
Love you, kid. Jersey Abe later, man. He is the man behind the Caltrop, and he's with his kids. I wanted him to be the very first caller into the show here, AJ.
That's a story, man. That's celebration.
It's celebration, and let me tell you something. Jersey Abe, he was like one of the very first listeners that I've ever had when I started my Calderisa Unleashed. When I started putting that out there, Jersey Abe has listened to every bit of Calderisa Unleashed. Then he was the number one guy when I had the show with the 2 other fucking people over at 2 Mics Live. He was fully supported them, and he took it upon himself to say, listen, I could do your website for you, no problem. Don't hire anybody, save the money. I'll figure it out. Okay, cool. And he's figuring it out. And his only problem with that website so far is me getting him any information, because I have so much shit going on. Every time I think to do it, I put stuff together and I want to send it and I just forget because I'm doing something else. It's absolutely insane. But Let's do this. I'm going to open up the lines, AJ, and let's see if we get any callers.
Hey!
Sorry.
What was that?
Special head for the special occasion. We come with all the sound effects and everything. I got them all.
I love it, bro. Here is the phone number. If you want to call, I'll leave it up here. I will just leave it in place of my name. If you do want to call and get in on this conversation about baseball and ask AJ any questions, go ahead. Feel free. Remember, if you call in, you have to finger the fuck out of my like button. That's standard, okay? Always subscribe to this channel. If you subscribe, hit the notification bell. Finger blast that bell. If you ring that bell, it will appreciate it. And obviously follow us on all of our pages. I'm Center Cut Media, Mike Calderese, and you have the Bleacher Brothers. Where else can they find you, AJ?
BleacherBrothers.com. And when we stream everywhere: Facebook, X, YouTube, Twitch. So BleacherBrothers.com.
Awesome. And listen, I'm not going to be screening any of these phone calls. So if you want to call, and I think I have the right number up there, right? 608-4358. I believe that is the right number. Somebody's getting like phone calls right now. Like, what the fuck?
You remember Bob Grant? You ever hear Bob Grant? He used to get phone calls where people would hate on him. And he was epic, bro. Bob Grant. You look him up. If you get off my phone, scumbag, and hang up on the people. Love Bob Grant. He was one of my I don't know, one of the guys that made me want to be a broadcaster, which I never became until I accidentally became one.
If I got to be honest, here we go. You're right. Hey, you're on with the Caltrop. What do you got?
I was just wondering if, do you know if George Sullivan flew to Israel to go fight the war?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Anything for AJ?
No, I was just curious if he got on the plane and fought for Israel. I'm not too. I was just asking.
He did not. No, he's still here. He's still here. He runs two successful businesses. Check him out. I highly recommend it for his Power Watcher.
5. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to fact check. I think it was 5 businesses.
5, yeah, whatever it is. Fact check whatever you want. Thanks, bud.
Thanks, man.
I love it, dude.
You gotta make people identify themselves though with a whack pack name.
You're right. What's your name? I gotta ask that.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Your name. Okay, so there you go. I gotta get good at this. This is what this is why you're here. What's your name? Where are you calling from? That's how I got to answer. Good job, dude. You're going to help me. You're going to help me.
We did radio, Mike, we did 4 nights a week. I wouldn't work Friday nights. I was the diva. I was like, nope, I'm not doing this. But we did 4 nights a week, 3 hours a night. You know how exhausting that was?
It's
exhausting, man.
Let me tell you something. That's exhausting. That's why I like to try to keep this to usually an hour. Friday nights, I'm going to go a little bit longer because I want to test out this phone thing. Anybody that wants to call in, hey, anything you want to say. Like, I'm not screening phone calls. Just do me a favor. Don't get me kicked off of like YouTube and shit like that. All that fun shit. So listen, AJ, I'm going to keep you for like another 12 minutes if you don't mind, dude. And we'll bring up Christo. Christo, if you're watching, you can hop in the back. I'll see you when you pop in here, bud. Dude, anything else that you want to touch on? What do you want to talk about?
I voted for Donald Trump 3 times, and we don't do any politics on our show. We have a character, Uncle Rico, because we don't want to insult any. We don't want to lose listeners because people are so divided that if you say anything that, So anyway, we got Uncle Rico. We bring him on, and we get him to say all the whacked out stuff that we don't want to say. And then they hate Rico, but they love us. But Ireland loves. Here's something funny. So before I go to Ireland, all the people from Ireland prep me. And then I did research. I watched YouTube videos about going to Ireland. And everyone said, don't talk about politics and don't talk about religion. So I said, okay, I'll go there and respect. Don't talk about politics. Don't talk about religion. People were stopping us as we walked down the street. You guys American? Yeah. Who'd you vote for? And we say Trump. They're high-fiving us. Big girl. This is St. Patrick's Day night. Dancing in the streets. It was the crazy thing. All people wanted to do was talk politics. I voted for Trump 3 times, and I watch your show as much as I possibly can live, and then I watch the replays, but Trump's got to shut the hell up. I mean, Trump threatened to annihilate an entire country. That's straight up. And I think war crimes are ridiculous. There should be no war crimes in war. Anything should fly in war. But he's just and he did it again today with the we're loading up the boats with weapons that the world never seen before. And if the strait is not open or they're not, just shut up. I mean, am I wrong?
No, I mean you're 100% right. I don't know what's going on with any of this, and it seems like it seems like he's trying to bluster his way out of certain situations that he got himself into, and I think he's realizing that he's in a really bad spot.
Yeah.
I think, but it doesn't. It really doesn't seem like he gives a shit. I don't feel like I'm watching the same person that I watched for the first 4 years, especially, and then watching the guy campaign. I don't feel like I see the same person. I don't feel like I hear the same person. If you listen to him talk, he has a more defeated sound in his voice. He sounds exhausted, and I would be. He's fucking old. I don't blame him that he's exhausted. So I still take him over Biden any day of the fucking week. But
I voted for Trump because there was nobody. I don't mean this way it sounds, but there was no other choice. When Trump initially ran, I supported Kasich and Rubio and Cruz. I never thought that Trump, because you grew up with Trump. We knew Trump forever because he's New York. He owned the Generals. And I've met Trump, and I've been in businesses, like multi-level stuff that Trump was in. And I always thought, you know what? I don't really like this guy. And when he ran, I thought it was a goof. But when he became president, I thought he did a really good job in his first term. I'm not going to lie. And I believe that the election was stolen from him. But now it's too much it's the same thing. We're going to do what you've never seen before. And we're winning. It's like Charlie Sheen all over again. And I don't know. I wish he would shut up. I really do. Just shut up.
It's not about, I don't want him to shut up when he's saying things I agree with, but I find myself in a very weird position anymore, man, where when I listen to some of these people talk, like people that I used to vehemently totally disagree with, no matter what people said, like that Cenk Uygur or Anna Kasparian, the Young Turks, you listen to them talk and they never made any sense. And now all of a sudden they seem like they're getting the better of the argument here, no matter where they're at. And you see the people that are trying to defend Trump's policies and all this stuff, and then you see them. And one of the things that I do recognize is when someone has a better argument than the other. When those group of people are making an argument and blowing the Trump supporters away with their arguments, and it's not even close. It's like point after point after point after point after point. And they lay it out so clearly, you have to sit back and say, what the fuck are you doing? Because these are people that never made any sense. And now all of a sudden they make all the sense. And dude, listen, I see bad things coming from, I think both of these parties are ripe for an independent, like center like right down the middle party. The only difference is I think it's going to hurt one group or the other. But I think either the Libertarian Party is ripe to come up, but they're the island of misfit toys. They're fucking wacky, the Libertarian Party. So I don't know the answer to this question, but I do think we need some people that are more in the middle that have an idea of how we could actually get things done. Like the 80-20 issues aren't even getting done. Makes no sense.
I check out lately. I've been checking out a lot lately on the news for my own mental health. I know that's what you do, and that's what your show is. But and I got to congratulate you on the new street. I saw that. That was very impressive.
What was
the video you put out this morning? The new street that they paved in your neighborhood there.
I wasn't my doing, I'm sure.
Well, I know it wasn't your doing, but still, you got a new street there. When was the last time they put some asphalt down over there?
Dude, never. I can't remember. Maybe 30 years ago, something like that. My wife's been here for 20 years. She never remembers the streets ever looking ever good. You know what's the interesting thing though? They just paved it, and you just know in like 6 weeks they're going to be saw cutting triangles into it. Or squares into it and rectangles. You just know, you know it's coming. But it's funny because I had a guy in my neighborhood go, our streets are getting paved, and I give you full credit because you're up to town's ass. And I'm like, yeah, they don't give me any credit for this shit. They cut into them. They were going to fix them eventually. Maybe they put us at the top of the list. I'll take credit for that. Let's take credit for that.
Take the credit. One thing I learned is always take credit if it's going to be given to you, and always take money if somebody wants to give it to you. Doesn't matter. Just take it. Okay. Yep. You want to give me $20? Sure. No problem. I'll take it. Absolutely.
You're not bullshit. But I'm with you, dude. He definitely is. This time around, I feel disappointed. The God's honest truth. I feel very disappointed in him. In the first time he delivered almost everything he campaigned on, he delivered. This time he delivered big in one area, which is 100% the border, and I love it. I love everything he's done with the border. I even love what he's done with ICE. I get rid of as many people as we possibly can. I have no problem with it. But it just doesn't seem like any other promise is kept. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I do. I do. I feel like his agenda now is his agenda. That's it. And his agenda is whatever pops into his head sometimes at 2:00 in the morning when he's up on Truth Social.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's a little scary, man. I mean, I know you have young kids, and I got a young daughter, and it's a little bit scary. And that's why I have this idea. I'm going to go down a road where we're going to launch this new podcast pretty soon. It's got nothing to do with sports. It's got nothing to do with politics. But I find myself on TikTok. You spend any time on TikTok? You ever sit on the toilet on TikTok and then you realize you've been on the toilet for like 3 hours and your legs are asleep and you're like Murtaugh in that Lethal Weapon movie? But
my wife would say, yes, he does know how to do that. Why do you spend so much time in the bathroom? Because that's my place of solitude. All right. That's where I can relax.
Yeah. I used to take the New York Post in there. Now I'm just in there with my phone, scrolling. But everything that I stop on is the top songs of 1982 or the top movies of the 80s and the 80s. And everybody that you talk to wants to tell you about remember when. So we're going to launch a member when. I don't know what it's good, but it's basically going to focus on the 1980s because a lot of our audience is in my age demographic. And I think we can hit a winner with, if we do an hour of 80s, whatever, movies, pop culture, fashion, politics, whatever it is, then we chop that up into little 30, 40-second clips. And that's where we get a lot of our views. I mean, just from the trip to Ireland, I ended up with 2 million views on the content that I put out. And it wasn't anything fantastic. The best piece of content I put out, there was an AI, I stole it. I saw it on X, and it was of Bad Bunny. It was AI, and on his dress that he was wearing, it said no ice or whatever he said with ice, something anti-ice. So I put it out right before the Super Bowl. I said, this is the preview of tonight's Super Bowl show. If you want to watch it, that thing went ballistic. I mean, it got millions of views and so much hate. People wanting to death threats, all kinds of stuff from me. And it was clearly AI generated funny video. And I didn't put anything political. I just said, here's the clip of Bad Bunny warming up for his Super Bowl halftime show. People are crazy. What I should do this for you if you want me to. The next time they do one of these No Kings things, I'll go out as a roving reporter. I got no problem going out as a roving reporter and getting these nut jobs on camera because I know that is views, bro. You put that on TikTok, you put that on X, you put that on Instagram.
I went out live a couple times doing that, and I'll 100% do it. Let's do it. I got another phone too that's connected, so I can have 2 phones going, and we go live on multiple. I got cameras, I got all the fun shit.
Christo, look, my fans are showing up. I see them here. Jason Ulrich, what's going on, Jay?
Jay Ulrich's the best, dude.
I watched Beverly Hills Cop last night, Jay. I swear to God, I was looking for something to watch. I didn't want to watch sports. I found the BBC America had Beverly Hills Cop on. So I watched it, and then it was a marathon. I got to watch Beverly Hills Cop 2.
I did the exact same thing.
Did you last night? Really?
100% was watching. I went to sleep to Beverly Hills Cop 2 when it was playing.
Yeah, they edited it. Check this out. So where I was in Ireland, I was in Northern Ireland. So Northern Ireland is part of the UK. And two things were bad in Ireland. The food was horrendous. I lost 8 pounds in the week that I was there because I realized I couldn't eat the food after a couple of days. And the other thing was the TV. What they have on TV there, it's either straight up porn. I mean, literally straight up porn. They have naked dating shows, all kinds of crap.
Italy?
No, this is in the United Kingdom. So Northern Ireland is part of the UK. And the TV was horrendous. I was able to find one channel that would show some American movies, and that was it. But the food and the TV were horrendous over there. So, but I got to watch Beverly Hills Cop over there too. So I've watched it 2 times in the past month, and it's probably been 20 years since then. Hey, I got to mention one other before you toss me is Luch on Ice is our hockey guy. You know Luch, don't you, Anthony Carlucci?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Luch on Ice does a hockey show every Thursday night at 8:00, or every Wednesday night. I'm sorry, at 8:00. And he's like a hockey encyclopedia, that dude. So check out Luch on Ice also.
Oh hell yeah, dude. So listen, man, dude, I gotta have you back so we could because the hour goes super fast, doesn't it? It's amazing how fast these shows go.
Especially when you're a guest. You should have me in live when I come up. I'm going to come up. You're doing the 10th annual Dinosaur Bike Tour this year?
Oh, yeah.
One, yeah. So we got to do something live while we're up there. We'll do a crossover or something.
Listen, I have a seat sitting right next to me right now, man.
I know you do. I've watched. I saw you. Didn't you interview the mayor in that seat? And
it was a different seat. Now I got a new little fancier seat. But yeah, dude, I had the mayor brick on. I have the mayor candidate of Elliott that was that's running for Jackson. I had him on. Chris Pollock came. He was the first ass in that new seat over there. Who
complained about it? Sean Scott's probably the one that complained about the seat, though, right? Because didn't you have Sean Scott in the studio?
I had Scott, yeah.
And why is he not the mayor? There was a rumor going around that he was going to run for mayor and be the mayor.
So listen, he told me he was going to run.
Told me that too.
And you know what I think happened was I think the disgusting brick Republican club politics got involved and decided to have a vote internally, and that internal vote chose their other candidate and not Sean.
Well, Sean's a good dude, man.
That's what I think. Now, if they ran Sean, they would have had a clean sweep. They would have won the mayorship, and they would have won all the council seats. It would have been an actual real difference right there. But nope, they can't do it. So, hey, Christo, I see you in the back, buddy. Are you going to turn your camera on? I can't see you. Usually I like to give you a thumbs up. Let me know I see that you're muted and your camera's not on. So text me if you're going to come on and not use the camera. Let me know.
You realize how our lives would have changed if Sean was the mayor there? I mean, we could probably drive on the sidewalks, do whatever we wanted to do. I mean, we know the mayor.
Right? It's like Tiger Woods. Did you see Tiger Woods when he got in his car accident?
Oh, so we broke that. We broke it. You can go back and look at the timestamps. A half hour before it came out anywhere, we had, because I know a guy in the Martin County Sheriff's Department, and he said, yeah, we're booking him for DUI. So we put that out on Twitter and on Facebook half hour before anybody else.
No shit, huh? Did you see the video of him calling Trump?
Yeah, I saw that after the fact. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I was just calling the president. Can you imagine that? It's like, hey, hold on. Tiger Woods is calling me. Tiger, how you doing? I got you on speaker. Mr. President, I'm fucked up. I just got arrested. Can you get me out of this one? Oh, that'd have been great. I love it.
Yeah, he needs to stay off the road. Somebody needs to take his keys away. That's just what needs to happen with him. I'd rather attend the No Kings rally than ride shotgun with Tiger Woods. No, I think I would actually rather ride shotgun with Tiger Woods than attend the No Kings rally. But anyway, they need to take his keys away from him.
They need to take his keys. I mean, dude, he looks horrible.
Yeah, he looks high.
But
I'm going to tell and obviously I'm not a Tiger Woods, but I was athletic. I was a bodybuilder, and I'm tore up. So I get the whole you have to be on painkiller or be on something sort of thing. But you should have a driver what is Tiger? He's got to be worth at least a couple of $1,000, right? Tiger Woods. So hire a driver. You know what I mean? Hire a driver.
You think he's got driver money, but dude, do you think he's still, when you live his lifestyle, how fast do you burn through it?
where the air. So I own a water treatment business down here, and we do a lot on Palm Beach. We've got the Trump organization as one of our customers. But this one stretch of Jupiter Island where Tiger lives, these houses are like second to none. You've never seen anything like these houses. So I would guess that if we Googled what Tiger Woods' house is worth, it's probably easily worth $100 million.
No,
the people who live there. Celine Dion lives on one side of him. Michael Jordan lives on the other side of him. And I have some high profile people as customers, and they're not in that same zip code as Tiger Woods.
No shit.
Yeah,
so he's got some money to hire a driver. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, he's definitely got the money. He's got the money. There's not enough pills in the world that he can buy that will blow through his money. So, but I get the whole in pain all the time, needing something to make you feel better. Probably just shouldn't be driving when you're on them.
Dude, listen. I get it. You need to take something like that. You want to be fucked up doing that? Great. I don't care. I don't care how you live your life. He first off, he wrecked that fucking trailer. That guy's not moving that. That looked like it was his business. Mm-hmm. So his it's affecting everybody around him, and the guy's got to knock it off.
Well, Trump will pardon him no matter what happens, so it's all good. Did you see that today? Trump came out and said he's going to pardon everyone right before he gets out. He says, Biden did a blanket pardon. I'm pardoning everyone that's come within 10 feet of the Oval Office while I was president before I get out.
So yeah?
Yeah. Great.
It's so, dude. Our politics is so disgusting. I got to tell you. Listen, man. We're a little bit over, but that's cool, bro. Tell again everybody where they can find you.
Bleacher, you follow me, AJ Johnson. Follow me on Facebook. That's probably where you're going to get the most of me. But bleacherbrothers.com, and we have shows running constantly on all the channels. So follow Bleacher Brothers on Facebook also.
Yeah, definitely. File.
Thanks for having me on, man. This was great. I may hang up and call in and come up with a clever name.
And pop in on more Fridays, that way we got your background over with. Then we can just talk about all the fucking fun stuff that you're doing, some gambling stuff, all that stuff. We'll do like a weekly update or some shit, or a monthly update. That'd be cool, man. I'd love to have you back.
I'm down whenever you want me. I'm down.
Awesome,
man. I'm a fan, and awesome. I've seen you from when I met you a year ago to where you are right now. Very, very, very friggin' impressive.
I appreciate it, bro. It's getting crazy. I'll tell you a quick story. Like before we left, like I went to the Blue Claws game, and dude, I'm waiting in line, and this is going to take a little bit of getting used to, right? But I'm waiting in line, and it was the wrong damn line. It was like the ticket service window and not the ticket buying window, right? But there was a line. I just picked the wrong line. So as I'm going into the other line, I hear, "Excuse me, man, are you Mike Caltrop, that guy on YouTube or whatever?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, man, I really love your page. I follow you. Blah blah blah. Do you want a ticket? I have an extra ticket. My buddy didn't come." It's like, okay. It was for tickets like right behind the fucking. It was like $45 ticket right behind on opening day, right behind home plate. So when I get in there, we walk in. I said, "Come on, man, let me buy you a beer, right? You got me in. Let me at least buy you a beer." So we're walking over to beer. All of a sudden, some guy steps out in front of me like this, smacks my hand, like gives me a hug. Like he looked familiar, but I didn't really know who he was. And he's like, "Yo, man, what are you doing around here? They don't like you at these parts," because I was in Lakewood. I was like, "Oh no, they seem like they love me around here." I must have gotten stopped like 20 different times by different people telling me how they watch the page and how they appreciate it. And I was, talking to all of them, telling them how much I appreciate them, but it was, dude, it's definitely fucking crazy, AJ, what's happening. I think there's a lot more people. When I first started doing this, a lot of people said nobody cares about local stuff. I think they're proving them wrong. Put it that way. I think they're proving them wrong.
You're definitely proving them wrong. You are. And it's creepy when that happens, but it's also really cool when it happens.
It's really cool. Yes. Yeah, I don't want to say, and listen, if you're there and you see me, come up to me, say hi. I'm not the guy that you can't do that with, because I definitely see people looking at me. And it's funny, a lot of people say, like, I'm sorry to do this, but are you that guy? Bro, it's like, are you that guy? It's funny because it's not, are you that guy? It's, hey, are you that guy? Because so you can tell by the way they say it whether or not they're going to like me or not. So it's interesting.
And they should see you pre-show when we got on before we were on the air. I thought I was going to show Tony Soprano. You had the wife beater on, and it just I was like, oh, well, forget about it. What are we doing here? Bada bing.
Well, you know what it is, bro. I get home, I take my shirt off. I still have my pants on from from work.
You're not doing a Lenny Dykstra tonight.
No, I'm definitely not pantless. I am 100% not pantless. I think Christo he says he'll unmute. He's still mute, but I think he's ready. I don't know. But hey, man, thank you very much. AJ Johnson from the Bleacher Brothers. I really appreciate you, bro. Definitely got to have you on. I really appreciate the kind words too, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too, man. All right. Let's see. Everybody, once again, I'll take it before I bring in Christo. Christo says he will unmute when he's ready. I don't think we have any. I do not think we have any camera going on with Christo, but if you guys want to call in and get involved with any of this stuff, oh, here he is. We got to, leave it there. Leave it dark as fuck, Christo. That works. Perfect. All right. Hey, and once again, if you want to jump in this conversation, 732-608-4358, give me a call and pop in. That's like the new line. So let's waste no more time. Let's bring in Christo. His camera was just on and now it's off, but that's all right. Christo, the Jersey Watcher. Can you hear me, bud?
That's the name my mama gave me. What's up, brother?
How you doing, man? Welcome to the Caltrop. I get it. So a lot of videos that I watch you talk in, you wear a mask. Do you stay undercover for a reason here or what?
Well, yeah. At the Edison meetings, my reason for doing it is because, well, when the Captain Todd incident happened, everyone was screaming at me saying I'm unvaccinated and that this guy needs to put on a mask. And you know me, I ain't putting shit on. So they dragged me out the meeting, almost stripped my arm off, and gave me some charges. And what I want to mention is this. I completely forgot about this, Michael, but at the time, everyone can come up and speak at the podium, but they made a very special podium for me. It was like a blacks only podium. It was really a Christo podium. And what they said is for unvaccinated people and people who don't wear masks, which is, they were targeting me. And I'll never forget it.
So when I have just like plexiglass all around you?
I think it was wooden. It was just retarded. it was really retarded. And
you gonna stay 27 feet away from people or just 6 feet away? Because remember 6 feet social distancing back then. Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
No, it's all right. So when I started wearing the anonymous mask, somebody mailed that mask to me, by the way. They mailed me a anonymous mask and anonymous necklace. And when I started wearing that mask, what became is put the mask on, all of a sudden became take the mask off. And it goes to it goes to show you, no matter what, they just want you to be compliant. They refuse to follow the law because I was always following the law, whether I had the mask on or off. They just want you to bow down to the system. And when you refuse to bow down to that system, they target you. They send their stormtroopers at you. And when you see that anonymous mask, I want you to know the amount of times I put that on and got thrown out the meeting for an entire year, that actually led to the Edison, New Jersey flag ban. If you Google Edison, New Jersey bans the American flag, this is the real reason why, because they targeted me. The town was coming after me. The mayor was coming after me, the police department, and probably both parties as well.
So how did that lead to the flag banning?
Oh, well, they considered the mask, they called the mask a prop, and they started calling the American flag a prop as well. And in order to show, and they got to show they're not discriminating at me, because I kept coming every meeting screaming discrimination. So then they started throwing the old women out too. And then what started out throwing out older women, they even threw out an older black councilwoman. She was the first black council president in Edison, New Jersey, Joyce Ship Freeman. They threw her out as well. They were just going crazy at the time, and God bless them. but at least the whole world got to see who they truly were. They thought I was going to fall into their trap. They fell into my trap. And I just want the whole world to know right now, if anyone's watching, tomorrow at midnight's going to be Easter for the Orthodox Christian world. And please celebrate that with us. Jesus Christ is King, but don't forget, they don't want you to say Jesus Christ is King. So can you imagine if you walked around and said Jesus Christ is God? Oh, they'd freak out. So don't just go out and say Jesus Christ is King, which he is King. I don't deny that. Jesus, also go out, let it be known, Jesus Christ is God. Christ is risen from the dead. He defeated death. And the Jews will never accept that. The Jews will never accept the Messiah because they are their own gods. And anything that denies that they're the chosen people, they will reject, just like they rejected Jesus Christ, Son of God. God bless them.
Yeah, during Easter, you see, I made some parallels, right, to things that go on right now, to what went on, that did go on with him, right? What did he come here? He came here speaking the truth, telling people where they were doing wrong, telling people what they needed to be doing, and they crucified him for it, And anybody that speaks the truth, you see that same thing happening today. You see it over and over and over again. And people like you that go in, you give them a hard time, and they'd rather try to silence you. They'd rather try to arrest you, intimidate you with cops. With the same people that are supposed to be protecting you, and the same people that are supposed to be doing things for you as elected representatives are now anybody that is vocal against them, they want to destroy. It's very interesting. So what happened with that? What happened with that situation? They charged you and then dropped them, right?
Oh, brother, I got 3 different felony charges. I ended up getting a 4th charge. They just went nonstop with these charges, and I beat the majority of them. The majority of them, I had a lawyer, John Klotz, in New Jersey. God bless him. He's the greatest lawyer the earth has ever known. In the state of New Jersey, he redefined what it means to be competent and stand trial here in this state of New Jersey. So he can redefine to me, that man can redefine the universe. God bless him. In my mind, he gave me another chance to survive. So I'm here today. I'm talking to you. When I first started seeing you, I don't like many people, Michael, but when I first started watching you, I love you, brother.
I appreciate
it. Love everything you do. And all the local stuff, it is important.
Listen, to me, it's the only thing where we could actually make a difference, bro. Dude, let me ask you a question. Do you think you've made a difference with everything that you've done? Do you think you've done anything? Like, do you think there was positive results in this, even from your activism, even after, getting whatever criminal fucking things that they put on you and all that? Do you think you made a difference positively at the end of the day?
I think so. And the reason being, later I'm going to draw some parallels with you. But the reason being is because I set out, I did a project with the YouTube, with the Jersey Watcher, which has since been deleted. I do have the secondary backup channel, New Jersey Transparency. I knew they were going to take the main one down. But what happened is, I started using my camera as a project. I was going on the YouTube, not just doing the First Amendment auditing. But I started running for board of education. I even ran for mayor as an independent each time with the slogan, protect the children. God bless America. I wanted to use the YouTube platform to show everyone, hey, you can go to your council meetings, your board of education meetings, and if they throw you out, they're violating your civil rights. Don't just record the cops on the side of the roads. So now every single YouTuber, they're in their council meetings from Florida all the way to California. That's because of the work that we did out here in New Jersey. And, I'm watching you, Michael Calabrese, and Well, the reason I started doing this, the cops used to fuck with me and my friends in the neighborhood. So I wanted to do something that'll make a change that, there's going to be me in every town in every fucking county in every fucking state that's going to bust their ball. They wanted to bust my balls. Someone's going to bust their balls every fucking where now. And, your work is even more important, Michael, because, I wanted to show people, hey, go after the town council people, go after the mayor. They're the ones that hire the corrupt cops because of nepotism. They're hiring their friends and family. They'll never hire someone like me and you who loves our community. That's number one. And number two, the work you're doing is so important because you went one level above that. You went even one level above that. Instead of having everyone, well, you're doing that too. I'm not going to exclude that. You're doing that too. But you also went straight to the masters, even the masters of the council people, the mayors, the Congress people, the senators, the governors, even the president. You went straight to Lakewood and you showed everyone in New Jersey, hey, you stood up to them. I'm never going to forget that, Michael. You got the biggest target on your back now because I'm not lying. Look what they did to me. So it's easier to gaslight me. So they got started with me real early, but right now they're sitting around the table. They're saying, what are we going to do to Michael to delegitimize him? They're going to want to slander you. They're going to want to defame you. You might see criminal charges pop out of nowhere, but that's all right because you're doing God's work, and nobody else in New Jersey has the balls to do what you're doing, to say what you're saying, and I'm proud to be on your fucking show, bro. Yo, thank you so much for having me on, man.
No problem, man. I have a feeling, dude. Like, when you look into my background, I've already given everybody that watches me, I give the background to. So like, I have an assault charge when I was 21 years old. I have a DUI when I was 21. Like what are you gonna say? I don't make a lot of money. Like, I don't need a lot of money. I make enough money to do what I need to do. Like I don't know. What the only thing they got is the name calling, or what are they gonna do? They're gonna make up a somebody I sexually assaulted in 25 years ago or some shit like that didn't happen. Like that's where it's going to go. If you're going to make up a story, they're going to be making up some type of horse shit like that. I can't wait to see what it is, honestly, bro. It's going to be fucking fun. This is going to be really fun to see how they come at me. They haven't come at me yet. And it's definitely interesting. They're almost playing like they hope I'm just going to go away, where I'm just going to stop talking about them. I'm going to give up as far as like bringing them up. I think that's their plan because they know anything that they dig in my closet and try to defame me with, I'm going to wear. I'm not ashamed of anything I past.
Michael, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even fucking matter because people that support us so fucking much and they're so understanding. In my situation, any charge they threw at me, no one fucking believes it. No one fucking believes it. So can you imagine when I go out there and fucking really do something? No one's going to believe that because they...
I got everybody cool. Dude, I fucking love it. I love it.
No one's going to believe that shit, man. And, people are so understanding that these people, they will target you. And, yeah, I always admit everything I do. So, but every single charge they put on me is fake, and every charge in the future that's going to come on them is certainly going to be fake. They're not good enough to catch me. They got to make shit up.
The only thing I can think they could do with me is start making shit up. Because I mean, the truth of the matter is I live a pretty fucking boring life, man. I wake up, I drink coffee, I play with the baby, I go to work, I work my ass off, I put the show together and make videos. That's literally every single day. And I come home and it's repeat. And if you go back 10, 15, 20 years, it was work, go coach baseball, go to cheerleading. There's nothing exciting when you start digging back 15, 20 years. You got to get back to 21, 22, 23 years old to get me doing anything fucking stupid.
I'm 100% going to come out. I'm still taking the offer of the tour.
Oh, you want to take the tour?
The whole fucking tour.
Lakewood. Call 732-608-4358 and schedule your Lakewood tour today. I fucking love it. Well, Christo, man, I got two questions for you real quick, man. Why did you get into doing this shit? And then what do you got planned from here?
I don't know. There was really no rhyme or reason, like the great philosopher Jeff Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I was just riding the fucking waves, and I still am riding those waves. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. No one's going to stop us from doing what we're doing. We're Americans. We're free fucking men. A lion's not going to listen to a cockroach. All I ever had was a bunch of fucking cockroaches telling me what to do. Don't wear the wife beater at the meeting. Stop cursing. Look more professional. And the funny thing is, Michael, I don't have to go in their direction. The Republican Party's now coming in our direction. The kids are look at the kids. They're talking about the Austrian painter tried to save the world everywhere you go. So the way I see it, everything's going to be handed on a silver platter to people like me, you, Dan Blazarian. Why? Because we were there from the beginning. We were there from the start. We took the punches. We took everything. We were talking about this and going after them when it was unpopular to do so. So,
you know what? Did you see that TMZ? I wish I brought this up. You bring in Dan Blazarian. Did you see TMZ interviewing Dan Blazarian? It's like, why did you call Randy Fine a fat Jew? Don't you think that's anti-Semitic? And it was like, it was the most pompous, ridiculous. I don't know why anybody gives TMZ any time whatsoever. I don't know how people even watch this, that disgusting fucking mess. But do you know what I'm talking about when they had Dan Blazarian on?
I know exactly what you're talking. I saw the clip. I fucking love it. The guy is fat and he's a Jew. What of it?
But why? So now when they ask him, "Are you an anti-Semite?" People have got to start just saying, "Yeah, man. What is that? What you want me to say?" Yes. All right. Now can we get on and say he's just a fat Jew? That's not a fucking. What is he? That's a description. That's not anti. Since when is it anti-Semitic, or since when is it wrong to accurately define who somebody is based on their appearance? You're a Jewish dude and you're fat. That makes you a fat Jew. That's not wrong. That's just facts.
Yeah, and the whole anti-Semite goes out the window because at the end of the day, Israelis are not even Semitic. If you look at the dictionary and you Google a Semitic person's an Arab person, and all these people came from Russia and Poland and Hungary and shit.
Well, it's interesting because you look at the Ashkenazis and they claim that their genetics could closely line up with the genetics of that Semitic region. And you know what? Listen, it's a small percentage of genes overall because there is a lot of mixing. There were a lot of Jewish dudes that took non-Jewish women as wives, and there was a lot of mixing. But there are some really close groups of people like some of the Ashkenazis that they claim come right from King David or whatever it was. I still think you can't. Here's the problem with all that shit. Jewish, I don't understand how they say Jewish is a race, because even if you look at the Bible tells Abram to go to Mesopotamia, go to Egypt, go get your people and bring them to the land of Canaan, bring them here, right? So that tells me that those people that then went on to live and form the nation of Israel came from Egypt and all those other areas. So and then when you say anti-Semitic, why doesn't Semitic mean anybody Palestinian?
Well, exactly. To me, a Semitic Palestinians are Semitic. They are Semitic.
Both of the groups that are fighting should be calling each other anti-Semites because they're both anti-Semites. This is the craziest part about this entire thing. It's one big ball of ignorance that I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows how to get a grip on, man, because it like you said, there's far too many people that just fall into the line and fall into the narrative and fall into the bullshit. Put your mask on. You have to believe this way. These people are anti. Those people aren't anti. It's like the word terrorist drives me crazy because terrorist is just who's getting the terror done to him thinks the other person's a terrorist. No one's going to convince me that there's people around the world that don't firmly believe that Israel is terrorists. And here's the funniest part about this. Like, everybody deems Hezbollah as a terrorist organization. And yes, their actions dictate that they're a terrorist organization. But now Hezbollah and those group of people deem everybody else a terrorist organization that's been fucking them up for years. So it's like, everyone's like, oh, Israel has a right to defend themselves. But do they have a right to defend themselves and attack? Because that's basically the same argument that we have going on back and forth. It's the same argument for both sides, but it depends on what side we want to support. Means the other side's a fucking terrorist, when the reality is everyone's acting in murderous ways. So everyone's a fucking terrorist. And people say, oh, you're anti-American for saying that if you think Americans terrorists. No, I think we have terroristic tendencies. Let's put it that way. Am I wrong with that, dude?
Oh, no, 100%. I think our government's terrorists. They've been terrorists for a long time. I think I was part of the 9/11 Truth movement. So, and I feel that Donald Trump hijacked that movement at the right time, because we were leaning more towards Jesse Ventura. We were leaning more towards Ron Paul, the father, not the son. And everything went to shit. I believe they put Donald Trump where he is so he can keep the JFK files closed, so it doesn't point to Israel. So September 11 doesn't point to Israel. Now the cat's out of the bag. It came to a point where we used to come out and say, wait a second, we're not going to support this ISIS in Syria. What the hell is going on? Why is America and Israel supporting ISIS in Syria? They were calling us for terrorists for saying that. And at the end of the day, in the Epstein files, it comes out, here we have Israelis. They won't even allow a Palestinian little baby girl into one of their hospitals, but they're treating one of these ISIS jihadis. That doesn't make sense to me. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. You understand?
Oh yeah.
And then these are the same people that, they say they hate the Nazis, but at the end of the day, look at Ukraine. You got a neo-Nazi army, the Azov battalion, taking orders from a Jew, Zelensky. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then they're going out killing all the Orthodox Christians. Anyone that speaks Russian in Ukraine, they get killed. You speak Greek in Ukraine, you get killed. The only people exempt from going in that fake ass Ukrainian army are Jews.
And again, when you look at the unbelievable hypocrisies, it's like we have given the Ukraine so much money to defend any land from being taken from Russia. We are trying to defend Russia from taking land, and it's cost us billions and billions of dollars. Yet, while we are fighting the war in Iran for Israel, they are bombing everybody else around them, including Lebanon. And they are just taking land from people. And it's interesting to watch, man. It really is. But you know what the thing is? You do see this nationwide or this worldwide stuff coming right to our doorsteps, right? I mean, you're up in the Edison area, right? Are you close to like Patterson? Do you see like the Muslims like filling up over there, trying to build the mosques? You see small groups of people trying to take over. When do you think Jersey turns into like the Gaza Strip of the Jersey Shore here? When do you think Lakewood and Patterson clash?
Oh, well, I think Lakewood's going to be able to hold on territorially to what they have because they have the governor's office behind their back. They got the attorney general's office behind their back, so they can just legalize anything that's illegal. They can legalize tomorrow. That's the beauty of them.
They did. Did you just see that Avi Chanel or whatever the fuck it is? The one, of course, it's amazing how only things happen for the Orthodox over and over and over again. But they just got this. They got it added to where they expanded the Medicaid program to include students that were still going to school. So grad students and pre-grad students could if they have kids, their kids could qualify for what is it for the daycare. They expanded the Medicare for daycare, the daycare enrollment. Yep, to include young college students that have kids. Tell me how that fucking makes any sense.
Yeah. There's a lot that doesn't make sense. Here we're given full benefits to Israeli soldiers now.
Well, so you know what's interesting? I looked that up, and it's the reviews are mixed on that, dude. I'm reading that we are, and I'm reading that we're not. So it's like there's a special carve out for any Israeli that's like fighting with America, but they have to be in like some of it's really American. The dual citizenship Americans are coming back to it's weird. Put it this way, things that shouldn't be going on are going on. You know, let's just put it that way. But listen, Christo, dude, I really appreciate you, man. We are getting to where we're gonna call it. I am honestly spent after this long ass week. But is there anything else that you want to add in after that you want to touch on that maybe we didn't speak about?
No, I just want to always be able to hop into your show. I'm gonna live bomb your show. But also, God bless Vladimir Putin. I love Vladimir Putin. I'm Vladimir Putin's #1 fan here in America. I'm one of the only people that ran a political party with Vladimir Putin and Protect the Children at the forefront of my campaign. At a time, they were calling Vladimir Putin Hitler. And I got over 4,000 votes here in Edison doing that. I want to tell everyone, it's Easter tomorrow, midnight. For the Orthodox Christian world, please celebrate that with us. And we don't hate anybody. It's not that we don't let them call us anti-Semitic. Don't let them say we're a bunch of haters. First of all, we love everybody. We love me. I hate everybody equally.
Yeah.
I fucking hate everybody.
Yep.
But you can't hate somebody if you don't love them too. So they want you to only have love, but remember that's a fake love. You know? That's tolerance. We don't tolerate bullshit. You understand? If you see a little kid walking to the oven with boiling water and he's about to dip his hand in that boiling water, are you going to tolerate that? Or are you going to scream and say, get the fuck away from that water?
No matter what it is, no matter who they are, no matter what, no matter what color, I'm telling that kid to stop that and don't hurt themselves no matter who they are. 100%.
It becomes instinct. And you can't politely say, you have to scream it. You're not screaming it out of hate. You're screaming it out of love. Because right away, you know what's going to happen to that person once they touch that fucking boiling water. Their skin's going to fucking start coming off their bone, you know. But yeah, don't fall for that label bullshit. And there's a lot of cool Jewish people too. You know, I live next to Highland Park. Surprisingly, I'll tell you this, what's weird is on the south side, Michael, you know, that's where a lot of the Gentiles are, a lot of the Greek people, whites, black people, right? But then you got the north side, and it's fairly the Jews have taken that over. But I always ask my friend, I said, hey, what's going on down there in Lakewood? Because I always saw newspaper articles, and if you're not from there, Michael, you know, you might get the impression like that, hey, there may be some anti-Semitism going on down there. Because look at the town, Island Park. I spend the whole day there, and really the Jews aren't acting up. They're pretty cool people. They don't bother nobody. And it's a cool town. Nobody bothers anyone unless you fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? But then I watched your videos and Tyler Oliveira's videos, and then I started understanding the newspaper articles more. Oh, this is why people are getting upset, you know? And, you know, God bless you, Michael, because you started waking people up. Because they were thriving off that narrative of yeah, everyone's anti-Semitic. They're anti-Semitic down there in South Jersey. I even at first, I'm not gonna lie, Michael. Many years ago, I even got that impression. Just from the newspaper articles. But now, after watching the documentaries that you've been a part of, and all your work that you do, it shines a whole different light. That no, the people in South Jersey, they love everybody too, but they're fed up with corruption, and they won't tolerate the corruption. And there's nothing anti-Semitic about that.
It's when you're watching. It's like things like this. When I watch everything go to one community, 50% of a county's budget goes to one town. When I see my taxes going up and up and up and up and up, and there's no end in sight, and it's just we get less and less services with more and more taxes, and you just see it over and over again. And people are sick and tired of watching the abuse happen. They're sick and tired of watching the disgusting tactics. The one-sided laws, the one-sided bills, like all of this stuff just gets sick and tired to deal with, man. So if I felt like I had to do it, it's the bottom line is I'm in a position to do it, like I've said before, and I felt like I had to. But dude, so tell everybody, I really appreciate your kind words, man. Seriously, but tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, the Facebook I got, the Christo Makropoulos Jersey Watcher, but also on YouTube, New Jersey Transparency. I'm on New Jersey Transparency on YouTube now since they took down the main channel, Jersey Watcher. But yeah, you can find me all throughout the universe. I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time, brother.
I love it. Dude, Christo, do me a favor. Anytime you see that number pop up, you are more than welcome to call in, bro, and talk and kick it with me. Really appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you.
Yo, I have a special show where only haters can call, and we can talk shit to each other back and forth. If we can get some kind of show where we can have Gentiles and Jews, talking to each other, and coming to some kind of understanding. What was
the phone number? Because people, if you don't want to show your face or any of that stuff, I get it, because a lot of people don't want to be on video. So now call up, give me a fake name, and that way we could bullshit. It'd be fun. I think it's gonna be fun.
What was that happened in one of your videos? You're like, yeah, I'm just trying to have an understanding, and the guy's like, no, you're trying to justify. I never said that. The lady's like, I never said justification.
Why are you putting words in my mouth? Oh my God, this is fucking torture. That's Al. Al likes to torture me, man. He likes to torture, but again, it shows. One of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have my arguments to a point where you can't argue with them. You fucking can't argue with the things that I say because they are based in nothing but absolute fucking fact and logic. And when I've spent hours and hours and hours like arguing with myself, going through the different points, learning the fucking truth. And when your automatic response is you're an anti-Semite or you're this, and it's always a label, you notice you're in a good spot. And what I do online, man, a lot of people like I love the people that come on my page and just want to throw hate at me because I understand that's literally the only thing that your brain can come up with as to combat what I'm saying. And if I think if that's what's going on, we're doing something right, Christo. I got to tell you that we're doing something fucking right, bro.
Well, they put me on a fucking list, Mike, and not even the American list, not even that no-fly list or one of those American lists. It used to be you Googled my name. It was a public listing, of all the anti-Semites around the world. My friend told me, he was like, "Hey, did you know you're in the book?" And I'm like, a lot of people have my fucking name. It's both is common, the first and the last. It could be, But no, I took a look myself. It actually said Edison, New Jersey. And in the description, I read the description. I was like, oh, yeah, I fucking said that. But I said that back in high school, Michael. I said it back when I was in fucking high school. And you know what they put me in the list for? A social media posting where I said to another friend of mine, yeah, I'm not selling my sperm at that value because, you know, I got ancient sperm. It's Spartan sperm, you know, biblically. No, yeah. But here's the part that got me banned, that got me canceled, that got me put into like the anti-Semites of the universe from here till whenever. You know, I said if Abraham came, if Abraham came from Spartan sperm, 1 Maccabees 12 verse 21, you know, if all the nations came from Abraham, and Abraham came from the Spartans, and everyone came from the Greeks, and then bam, because you know how you fuck around, you want to fuck around with the Jews, say something stupid, you know, and bam, they take some kind of sarcastic, trolling message, whatever, and they're like, oh, we're gonna fuck with this kid the rest of his life, a future Hitler over here. I wasn't even out of fucking high school yet, Michael. This is the type of people we're dealing with. So that's why I love people like you, because we gotta break these walls down of the cancel culture, of this fake outrage culture. It's destroyed America. The sexualizing the children has destroyed America. Redefining telling the kids they can walk around and pretend like they're fucking donkeys has destroyed America. Let's just walk around like we used to. What year were you born, Michael?
79, buddy.
That's why you're fucking normal. I was born 1987. You know, if you can't remember the fucking Olympics, the World Cup here in New Jersey back in 1994, you weren't really living in the good times. Everything was different before September 11 and then after September 11. And that's why you're so fucking awesome, because you remember everything before the collapse.
Before it went batshit crazy. You're like, man, I definitely remember the life beforehand. It's the fucking truth. Well, listen, bro, I really appreciate your time. Really appreciate you coming on. And you're more than welcome anytime. Definitely call in, homie.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Christo. And now, how do you say your last name? Is it's Makropoulos, right?
It's Makropoulos, but most important is Christo, because that's the name my mama gave me.
Makropoulos, dude. Really appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
I appreciate you too, brother.
Have a great night, man. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Later. All right, everybody. That was the show for tonight. I hope you appreciate it, man. You know, I really like having different shows, different guests. It's fun to break up the monotony of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So, dude, we had, obviously 2 awesome guests tonight. Check out the Bleacher Brothers, AJ Johnson, and last chance to give me a call, 732-608-4358. If you want to just call in, say hi, test it out, whatever you want to do. I really appreciate it. But we had AJ Johnson on, and obviously Christo Makropoulos. Christo Makropoulos, the Jersey Watcher. Dude, listen, check out both of those guys, man. Doing work, and guys, everyone has a past, but I really believe this. Like, the like-minded people have got to come together in some way, shape, or form, because it's getting out of hand. It's getting way too pushed out to the sides, and we have got to take this and we got to suck it back into the middle somehow, so we can have some type of a semblance of government. And not just that, man. Imagine being a government and you're trying to work with America, who's polar opposites every single day. Every 4 years, it's going to be a completely different direction. You can't plan any business like that. So we have to run like a steady ship, and we have to get that in our minds that we have to stop being so damn bipolar. Listen, guys, I really appreciate you. I really hope you have a great weekend. Hope you had a great week, number one, but have a great weekend. And then, of course, join me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday next week, 8 p.m. We're going to have, obviously more guests, more things to talk about, and more ways where the Caltrop is going to parse through all of the bullshit. And as always, if any of you out there want to come prove me wrong, come prove the Caltrop wrong, I have a seat right there. I have another window. You guys are always welcome to do it. Thank you very much, guys. Finger blast my like button. Subscribe. Check out all my pages. Really appreciate you. Have a great weekend. This Caltrop is out. Later.